Okay, I had a video called Centering Equity and Collective Impact. It was by a lot of authors. I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce their name right, but John Kanya, Junius Williams, Paul Schmitz, Sherry Brady, Mark Kramer, and Jennifer Splansky Jester. So they were all giving their input on this article. Basically, the main theme of the article is that equity is central to social justice work. If you aren't centered around equity, things just aren't going to work very well. So the first thing we talked about is that years ago, I don't remember what year, if it said, in 2011, John Kanya and Mark Kramer wrote an article that just became super widespread, like 1 million people downloaded it, and a lot of people cited it in their own academic work, but it was called Collective Impact. And in the article, it stated that collective impact means the commitment of a group of important actors from different sectors to a common agenda for solving a specific social problem. So people from different areas that are important, and they're coming together to solve a social problem. They agreed that there were 5 essential conditions that had to be adopted in order to have good collective impact. First one was a common agenda, so just a shared vision for what is going to happen, or a shared thing that needs to be fixed. A shared measurement, so again, like a shared idea of how they're going to say if this idea is working or not. Mutually reinforcing activities, so basically just doing the things that are going to get to the best end result. Continuous communication, so constantly telling each other what we're doing and how it's going. And then a backbone team, so a smaller group that is really dedicated to making sure the rest of the group functions well. And so over time, their definitions changed and their essential conditions changed as they worked with other groups. So they eventually added 8 more principles, and 2 of those were engaging with the community and having a priority on equity. So beforehand, equity wasn't really included in their collective impact definition, but it is now. And they said that most collective impact efforts fail because of a lack of centering around equity. And so because of this, they wrote a brand new definition for collective impact. And they said collective impact is a network of community members, organizations, and institutions that advance equity by learning together, aligning, and integrating their actions to achieve population and systems level change. So it's more than just people, it's community members, organizations, institutions, and they're all working together to change the population or change the systems levels. So the next thing they talk about is how there are very inconsistent definitions of equity. There's not just like one that really fits. People have their own ideas about what equity means. And so they decided, or they searched for their own definition that they really liked. And so they found one from the Research and Advocacy Organization, or Urban Strategies Council, and they said that equity is fairness and justice achieved through systematically assessing disparities in opportunities, outcomes, and representation, and readdressing those disparities through targeted actions. So seeing where people don't have what they need and readdressing those and having actions that will help fix them. So we have to understand who has been marginalized and why and how they are experiencing this, and then take targeted action. So then they mentioned that people of color are often the most structurally and institutionally and interpersonally marginalized in the United States and other countries. And so we have to center equity around those people and figure out why something is happening that is wrong. Centering equity alters the way practitioners implement collective impact. So your collective impact will be changed by the equity that you are looking at. So an example was, as a white leader of change, they can provide cover for people under them to do big work. They can elevate the voices of people of color when those voices are often unheard. They can really provide a safe space for everybody. And in that, there are 5 strategies for centering equity. The first one is ground the work in data and context and target solutions. So this is really about having a shared experience with all of the knowledge and information that we have, so we can go forth together. We want to have a unified idea of what we're doing, and that takes data and context and sharing it with people. The next one, focus on systems change in addition to programs and services. So it's deeper changes and not just on the surface level. The third one is shift power within the collaborative. So people in power, they don't often represent the people they're supposed to represent. So sometimes it means a change in leadership and a shift of power. 4 is listen to and act with the community. So there's people already in the community that are doing really good work, and they're likely to know more and have more experience than you do, and they can help you and provide really good light to what would work in a community and what wouldn't work in a community. And so that's just really important, to work with what's already there. And then the last thing is build equity, leadership, and accountability. So everybody's working together for this collective impact. They must have accountability and work together. Nobody can slack off or do something that's really harmful to the impact. So basically, it was just a really good article on how equity is needed in collective impact.